Good morning, everybody. Happy Art Day. It's time to do some art. I don't know if you watched one of my Talk O'Clock vlogs recently, but I've been saying that for this video, I want to change things up a bit when it comes to the feeling of the video. Hence, I'm on a different background here than usual because I'm at a different desk. I'm going to work in my art journal today. And I decided to change things up because, well, this is not really a planned video, meaning I'm working in my art journal and things will go their way. Not maybe my conscious way, but maybe my subconscious way. I'm having a few things that I want to work with, a few items, collage items, and art supplies that I want to work with. But I only have a rough concept. I don't have a very planned out idea, even less planned out than usual. And also, well, since the topic of this art journal page is rather very personal, inspired from very personal life, but I forgot to get a paper. But more in the stages of inspiration. I'm at my inspiration table and I'm in the cozy little corner of my studio. If you followed me for a while, you know this setting and the setup of my studio and where I do what. So I'm in the cozy corner today because, well, I think this is going to be maybe more of an intimate video. I'm not sure. I'm not saying this is a therapy session here for me, but it kind of is, you know. So I'm just going to get started. I have you zoomed in quite a bit. But I want to give you the measurements of this paper so that you just got an idea. It might be a bit different feel on camera. So it's 15 centimeters wide and about 21 centimeters long. And I have a cardstock here to put behind this paper when I work with the watercolor pencils. So I'm planning to have a mixed media page on this paper, and this is Strathmore Mixed Media Journal that I'm using here. I like the paper of that. It's not warping too much, but I want to work with watercolors, maybe a tiny bit of ink and collage bits, and I want to work on the topic of time. While I cut, I want this clock and this clock. I'm not sure about if I'm going to have this one in here, but just in case I put it out. And I want this piece of paper. And while I, maybe also the text, do I want that? Things that are, maybe, yeah, I'm gonna cut that as well. And while I do that, I'm gonna tell you a bit about what the inspiration of this page is going to be, or what I had in mind when I decided the topic would be time. Again, if you're new to this channel, you might have to look back in a couple of Talk O'Clock vlogs, but well, a couple of months ago was actually this year. It's gonna be 2 years ago. So my dad lost his battle against cancer, and yesterday, the day of me recording yesterday, not the day of this video coming out, so yesterday, the 12th of February, would have been his 65th birthday. It would have been a round one, and we would probably have gotten quite a bit tipsy there. So just remembering that and missing the opportunities, so to say. I need a smaller pair of scissors. Hold on for a sec. Where do I got the scissors? There. So just remembering that and thinking about, well, the times that my family cannot have, so we cannot celebrate his birthday like we would maybe have if everything would have been fine. It's a bit tricky. And also, I have to say, it's this page here is a bit of a mixture there. For one, the time that is gone, meaning that we cannot have or that I cannot have. All the events that will not happen because, well, life has its own course. And also the time that maybe is missing in regards of, oh, I cannot turn back time. I cannot have this moment again. But also the topic of time, meaning, oh, I remember that time when we did that and that, and you know? So it's all the different kinds of moments that time has there that I want to have in this page. It's not necessarily the angry page. It's not per se the only sad page here, but it's a sad page, it's a happy page, it's a memorial page, it's a melancholic page, it's a celebratory page. It's so many things that I actually feel, therefore, I have to put in my art journal, that I think by focusing on the topic of time, I could achieve that most. So that is, oh no, I'm gonna cut it around the dark part of the clock. I don't need the frame. So yeah, that is what I've been thinking about. And I'm wondering how am I gonna incorporate the topic of time? Maybe turning back time would be something. Maybe somebody wants to turn back the handles or spin the clock itself. Which could indicate turning back time, but that is just one thing that happens with time, or that happens with time. Not, you cannot turn it back. So maybe somebody trying but not succeeding, but time is nevertheless running out or moving forward. And I'm wondering, how can I depict that? Yeah. Tricky. I was thinking maybe having a person doing that. That's why I'm having this gem here. It's also in here, or it's from a book that my dad used for his studies at university. So that would tie back to him using a collage bit of one of his books. So that's why this gem is in there. And don't ask me what kind of gem it is. I have no clue. But I just see that there is a print here, so maybe I just can have half of the clock. There's also gears, which reminds me I could actually stamp. I have some stamps with gears on them. Maybe later. But I think I'm just gonna use half of this clock here. But yeah, I'm wondering, and I'm just gonna think out loud. What am I gonna do with the time factor, turn back time? What kind of clocks are there? There's this, maybe, oh, I think that won't be too shabby. I think I can pull it off. So what if, as I have these clocks and use only half of it, one on top, one of the on the bottom, and it's one of these hourglasses, and the clock is actually the sand, the time itself, and somebody holds it and maybe wants to squeeze it like this, and like a pepper mill, you know, and turn time back like this, or have a handle there and turn back time. Try as that. I think that would be something nice. I could, what I want to do with the supplies, I'm having watercolor pencils next to me, and I want to work with only the paper and the watercolor pencils, and I could have a scenery painted with them, and maybe have a few details with the ink, or maybe like I have nibs and ink next to me on the other side. Or maybe I could have some gear added as well. So I don't think I want this clock here. I think it's a bit too much. So I'm just going to put it aside for now. Maybe use it on a later project. But I'm going to keep it next to me in case I change my mind. But I think that would be something that would incorporate all of the themes that I want to have with time. Maybe have this as a necklace, or as a sun, or a wormhole or something, I thought. This is how this could be time, or be incorporated into the page. Yeah, I think that would be something. Also, I could get rid of this printed number here by just cutting that part. Don't need that. And in this part, maybe have the bigger one on top and the smaller one here. Have some sand and an hourglass. Yeah, I think that's not too shitty. Maybe have the other clock parts maybe somewhere else, maybe not, I don't know. I'm gonna put it aside for now as well, but I think I like that idea. What I also want to do, and I totally forgot, wanted to play with a new graphite pencil. This one with this one here. What were you? You were effect marker. Maybe I'm gonna play with you as well, but for now I wanted to see. This was one of the art box pieces and it has a lead in there already. So I just wanted to see how this plays, so I could actually use it for sketching. And if it doesn't work nicely with the watercolors and I have a bit of a blue tint there, I don't care actually. But I need the hourglass shape. And space for a hand in there. So I'd say gonna have something like this, and I'm just very roughly now sketching in the shapes that I want. And then I'm gonna work way more with the shapes once I have them sketched out and I decided what colors to use with my watercolor pencils. Actually don't need that yet. It's a bit uncomfortable. Need a hand of a person. So here comes the neck where they hold it. So something like this, and now you fit in here. So now I need the second hand where they want to crank the handle, but I can put these parts aside. I don't need them for now. Maybe something like if I have this clock part in here, like this, could be something like that to turn back time. Could have it attach to the top part where you cannot see through the hourglass, and then it could do its magic or something. But I would also need, yeah, that's enough space, a bit of a no see-through part on the bottom. Okay. And then we need a person who's gonna do that. The turning back time. Maybe just the shape of a person's face and not necessarily the whole person. But maybe I don't need maybe a finger, maybe a ring. Could be a magic ring too. Don't know actually. Actually, just yeah, I'm just gonna cut this smaller, and it will be, or would it be a ring? No, it's too much. It has to be here. Okay, I'm gonna cut it a bit, and then it will be kind of a magic ring or something. Maybe that is the one that activates the hourglass in regards to turning back time or something. Makes it even possible. Without a magic ring, you don't have to feel bad that you cannot do that. Yeah, that's more like it. Yep. So, let me see. Yeah, I think that's enough for the details for now. I just... I'm gonna glue on these parts later. Since I'm working with watercolors, I cannot work with gel medium. Otherwise, I cannot have the watercolor on top. But no, I need to be able to put those away for now, because I don't want to lose those tiny bits, and I don't want to have them flying when I work with my blow dryer. So you go in here, and I'm just gonna paint the whole scenery first, and then I will glue them down. Those pieces with a normal glue stick there should work. So got my brush. And now I have to figure out what colors I want. I have quite a bit of the ochres, yellow ochres. These tones here could work really well. These are the Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils that I'm gonna work with today. And I think I'm going to stay with blues, ochres, and maybe grays. Not have super bright colors there, but rather maybe in these tones, warm tones, and maybe a bit of blue to set things apart. So what I always like to work with is this pencil or this color here, which is indigo, deep indigo. Really like to work with this one. I don't really have a yellow tone there, so I'm going to take the 109, which is yep, that's 109. That's chrome, dark chrome yellow. I want to have that one. Now, what? Maybe. Oh, I like this one. I want to have that body. Are you an olive? What color? 173. Nope, you're not the one. 173. Olive green yellowish, and I definitely want one of my favorite pencils, pencil colors, especially in combination with the indigo blue, is the green gold. Now I need a couple of browns. I have the yellows. I definitely want this one. The one... don't throw shit, Sarah. It's not helping. The terracotta. I want that. I do want the 180. 180. Which is... raw umber. I want the 188 actually too. 188, which is sanguine. Now I need the darks. $175, which is dark sepia, and then I want a Payne's gray, which is the 181. All of the colors and all of the stuff that I'm using here today will be on the blog post later today as well, so you don't have to remember the colors that I'm using here in case you want to use the same. I'm going to start. I need my color sheet again. Gonna start just coloring everything in, and then I'm going to liquefy it all in one go and see how I like the first layer. I'm probably gonna have 2 or 3 layers of color going on, so we'll see. But I just wanna get an idea of how things look with the base layer, which is always something that works really well for me if I want to well, see how something goes, how something plays together, if it plays together the way I imagine or the way I had planned. I like to use a solid layer of color first, especially when it comes to water soluble things, art supplies, where I don't have a solid layer like I do with the acrylics maybe, but I pull out color or the pigment and have a natural shade going on, just because I have more intense parts of a painting or a drawing, and others are maybe a bit less intense. Also, this is just a very fast way to lay down color and maybe get rid of the terrifying feeling of a white space. I'm not having the problem that much, but if you're one of those people who has a bit of trouble when things are just a white space, you might find this helpful actually. I'm going to pull in the raw umber right away for these parts. I want the rest of the page to be rather blurry, so I am just going to give it certain batches of color now, different ones. So now I'm having the Payne's Gray, for example. Let's pull in a bit the green. Move the brown because, well, could be here. And then maybe some more indigo. All right, now this looks really scary now, I think, when it comes to the line work and everything. It's like, ugh. But now the magic happens, and that means liquefying the pigment. Having a water brush here, and I'm going to work on the lines that I want to have, the shapes that I want to have that are not background. The background I might use a bigger brush, but these lines can settle while I go about the background in a minute. And I'm cleaning off my brush between the different colors, or when I think I have too much pigment on my brush here that I'm pulling. So and since those pencils are so soft, they also go into the valleys of the watercolor paper. And I have quite a bit of pigment there that I can liquefy and pull. Okay, see what I mean with the natural shading here? Where I had more pigment, I do have a darker color right away, which is nice for shading of especially skin parts, so fingers, feet, hands, stuff like that. So I'm going to liquefy the rest of the background now, and I think I don't need to do anything more to the background. I just need to work a bit more layer wise on the focal point, but I think the colors that I laid down for the background are actually pretty cool in one go. So I like that. And I'm going in ovals or circles with my movement of the brush so that I get rid of those lines there. And it just looks very smooth and very blurry, which I want to have for my background. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna give this a blast with my hair dryer. And now it's time for the second layer. So I'm going in for raw umber for the face. Just pull in some darks there. Definitely gonna have more of this sepia. Using the same tones on the hand just to intensify. Okay. And I think once I have these this layer here liquefied, I'm going to glue in my collage bits and then pull everything together, you know. But let's see how this layer of color works. Oh yeah, I like this. I'm just thinking it would actually be kind of cool if you could, in real life, turn back time sometimes. Not to necessarily do anything different, but just to experience a certain thing again. Relive a moment, maybe not only in your memory, but like really relive it. That would be so cool. And especially, I think especially if you lost someone or something very important or formative to your personality or to your core being, I think then it's even more so that you sometimes want to relive those moments again and not play them in your head. Because reliving those moments is also hearing, smelling. There's way more senses than that are, well, maybe a bit more difficult to play only in your memory. It would be cool. I would definitely go for it. Not to wallow in moments, no, but just to, you know, pick the cool ones and relive them again. That would be kind of cool, actually. Okay. Ouch. Okay, that is enough already. And now I can bring in my collage bits. Need to cut a bit of the upper clock. That's more like it. So I'm quickly gonna glue those down, and then I'm gonna go in with, I think, mainly dark browns and dark grays to shade. Yeah, I think so. I think. But I'm going to use my paper as a surface to glue on. All right. Oops. Throwing things here. This was not planned, but anyway. So let's put this behind the paper again. Now I'm gonna see where I need what. For one, I need to fill up the sand. That is gonna trickle down. Need a bit more shading underneath the clock, though it does not necessarily sit on a table or something. Think she just holds it, but it needs a bit of a dark there anyway. Also here and maybe here. And then she needs a bit of definition, so I'm going to also bring in the sepia for outlining the fingers. Just those dimples here. I'm going to liquefy these dark spots for the dimples. And on this hand, it has to be even darker. So shadow underneath the ring. So I'm gonna put that there. Outline. Not gonna outline all the way, but most of that. Definitely gonna use a bit more of the reddish tone in the face. I really like that one. I'm also gonna pull in gray for this part here. I'm adding gray here and there. Just to pull things together. The dark gray, I'm gonna outline the timeless quite heavily because you cannot, yes, you can see it, of course, because glossy, not glossy, but I want the word to stand out a bit more from the background, so need a bit of a dark border around it just to set it aside, you know. Doing the same for the clock. And now it's time to liquefy again. Do I need a bit? Yeah, I think I need a bit more here. It's just detailing now at this point and pulling everything together and make the clocks that I glued down part of the page there. But also just to, you know, intensify things. stuff like that. And you can you can really go at this part of the putting a page together. You can do that endlessly, because you're the one that says when. You are the one that says, oh, it's enough now, I'm happy with it, I don't want to play with that page anymore. Things like that, you know. It's just, yeah. Okay. I think this stage of a page is also the moment where you, especially if you're working on something in your art journal, I don't mean a page or something, but if you want to work through something and you want to paint it out, pretty much, this is the moment where you could decide how long you want to stay with that topic. How long do you want to work on it? How do you work through a topic, so to say? That's a very personal thing, and that is very different from person to person. It depends with me on how long I play in my art journal pages. When I work through a topic, it really is very different. I think it's more the part of, okay, am I recording something here to not forget? Or am I using it, quote unquote, as a therapy session to work through something or work something out, maybe? Yeah, it's always different there. When I just want to record something, I usually spend less time fiddling with details. But if I want to think about that topic while I do the artwork, I usually tend to, well, work longer on the page and, well, add something here, add something there, oh, and another layer, oh, and another layer, and I could add this, and these are those line works that I maybe want to incorporate, stuff like that, you know. But there is no right or wrong. It's just the way you want to work in your art journal. Nobody says you can just play in it for an hour or two. All right. Now I'm going to bring in a black pencil, because I want to have a frame for once. For one, not for once, for one, because I like to work with frames. Also, I want some things to be a little darker, so I need to add a bit of a darker pigment. I think I'm gonna do the rest with ink then. I think that's all I want to add with the watercolor pencils. Maybe need a bit of a dark here. And I think that's pretty much all I want to add with the watercolor pencils, and now it's maybe time to add a bit of ink. Okay, one more time to dry everything off, and then I'm adding ink. Let's take the one where I don't break my hands. No, that's purple. That's black. So this is permanent black ink. And I really like to work with this one. So I'm just going to add some very dark lines. But maybe more of a scribbly line. Okay, this ink is almost empty. I need to, well, I have rebought it, but might have to break the new one out earlier than expected. So I'm going to add quite the scribbly lines here, just to again make this feel more like a sketch or something. I might add a little gel pen later as well, but this is something that I only decide once I have everything down. You know, I have my page, my design is done, and I just, quote unquote, just need a few highlights. Then I would bring in a gel pen, but again, this is something that I would decide on once I have my design finished. I actually like her face not having ink lines, so I'm not gonna put ink lines on her. She's almost background. Her face is almost background, so I will not add any ink to her face. But do I? No, I just need a few lines here. For the dimples. A few more scribblies here and here. And I'm also gonna add lines to the timeless just to make it more readable. But I'm not gonna use this ink for it because, well, it's maybe not drying fast enough on that glossy paper. And I don't want to risk smudging, so I'm going to use a fine tip pen there in a second. Yeah, that's it. Maybe a few drops. Yeah, maybe that's not too shitty. Hold on. Just have to dip. Is that working? No, it's not. hold on. This is not really working, so I need a brush. And I need to do that with an ink brush. Yeah, that's it. Just a few dots. And splatters. All right. That's enough. I'm gonna let it sit there for a second. And I'm gonna clean up. Woo! Oh, gonna clean off my desk. And my brush as well. And now I need a fine-lined marker to outline the word timeless, and I'm taking a permanent marker here with a rather thin tip. Just give those letters a black outline, just to set them apart a bit more from the background there, because it's very that background is rather light. But that would be pretty much my page. I might add a tiny bit of a highlight here and there, but I'm gonna decide that in a minute. But that is, yeah, this is how I work through things in my art journal. It's definitely a bit more of a loose / emotional page, and not only the recording of an event, but more the maybe working a bit through a wish or a desire that I know cannot happen, because we live in the real world and not in fantasy world. So things like turning back time or really reliving moments rather than just remembering them are probably not gonna happen in my lifetime. So unless we invent time travel, the memories is pretty much all I got. And the events that will not happen are maybe, well, only happening in fantasy. So in my imagination, what would this round birthday of my dad's been like if he would still be alive? What would we have done? Things like that. How would we have celebrated this time round? So it's just imagination or memory that I could work with. So this is how I deal with it. I make an art journal page. Doesn't have to be the super big double spread with lots and lots of layers and media and tons of tiny things. You could do whatever suits you, and this time around, watercolors, ink, and a few collage bits did suit me to, well, make my page. Next time it might be something totally different, because I might be rather recording something instead of working through feelings, or well, I don't want to say issues. Issues do sound so negative in this regard. It's more like getting comfortable, or reminding myself to be comfortable with my situation and the way things are, you know. So yeah. And it can be on a tiny piece of paper. You don't need to have the big spread. But what this page needs is a tiny bit of highlights, especially on the magical ring. And folks, if you find a magic ring that lets you turn back time, let me know. I'd like to borrow it once in a while, if you don't mind. But this ring needs sparkles and dots because it's magical. It's a magical ring. Also, yeah, what I want to do as well is work a bit with the clock handles. So they need to be a bit more prominent. Hence, I need to elongate them. Just with my gel pen here. Through the clock and everything. Just playing with the concept of time. I'm gonna have the handle for the seconds just be white, but not elongated. With the bigger one down here, I wanna take my other white marker, not the gel pen, because it would take ages to get the big handle covered with the gel pen. But I could just take my permanent marker. Whee! It also, it's kind of like a felt brush tip there, so I could let parts fade out. Like this. And I think, you can look at it from a distance. Yeah, I think that's that. I'm just gonna sign it with the date. And then I'm done. This is my art journal page, and I'm gonna call it surprise, timeless, because love and life and memories are kind of timeless. So yeah, that's my page. That's it. That's timeless. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and the maybe a bit more cozy and not super talkative kind of setup here. Again, once in a while, I do have things that I work through, or things that I, well, want to explore in my art journal, and I'm maybe not as super talkative there, but maybe a bit more in the quiet, cozy set up, so and I don't like the glare. But maybe a bit more in the cozy kind of setup. Let's see. Yeah, now you can see the page and there's no glare and I don't have to hold it. Yeah, maybe once in a while you enjoy this cozy, maybe a bit more intimate and a bit more quiet kind of a setup for the art day, where I don't explain everything away, but maybe just the broader concept, and well, you have enough space to fill this page with maybe your own memories or your own thoughts or opinions there. And I might just be talking a bit about technical things and why I do what on the page. We'll see how many I'm gonna have of this format. Let me know if you like this format or if you just want to be on the other table and have everything laid out in the open. I thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna be back next week. Excuse me. It's super early in the morning, me filming. And I definitely need a new coffee before I film the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna see you next week with a new video. I haven't planned anything yet, but again, I'm filming this a week ahead always. So on Saturday this week, it's the birthday bash in the Jenny Belly journal workshop community. So maybe I'm gonna work on whatever is given as a project on the in the birthday bash. Maybe I'm gonna work on that on Monday, because I actually don't have time to join on Saturday because I'm actually working and filming and stuff, so I probably won't have time to join the birthday bash live. So maybe I just do that with you on Monday. We'll see. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please let me know if this setup is okay for you once in a while. I would be very happy to receive feedback there. The details of all the materials, lists, and close-up photos that are not glaring are in the blog post, which is live by now, and you can see it on my webpage. Link is in the description box below, or just hop on over to my Facebook page. There is a direct link to the exact blog post every time I publish something there. And yeah, enjoy, have a wonderful day, take good care, do the good YouTube stuff, like this video, share it with a friend, or subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would love to have you. And have a wonderful day. Maybe you got some time to think about a memory that you would like to relive, or where you would like to turn back time and do it all over again exactly the way you did it. Maybe a meeting of somebody, maybe a birthday party, maybe the birth of a child, whatever it is that you say, I would love to not just only have a memory of it, but to be in that situation again, the exact situation, and do it all over again. If you have something like that, yeah, go back to that moment, relive it in your memory, and maybe search for the magic ring. Maybe we all could then turn back time once in a while, or just stop time. Maybe that would be quite handy once in a while, just to, well, be longer in the awesomely awesome moments, you know? So take care, everybody. Have fun, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.